Cause you don't know football. Reek put us together like the Avengers. For the love of the game, this ain't for the pretenders. Used to strap them up, that's why we qualify. So when I tell you you don't know, I won't apologize. It get ugly on the gridiron, and I'm tired of watching all of these analysts misfire. This raw ain't politically correct, but either way you put it, man, we blessed. Tell y'all networks they should get hip to us. Moving on to big things when they pitch to us. A hot take can make you put on the gloves, but at the end of the day, it's all love. So as you gon' bring the stats to the room, or maybe the eye test to the Zoom, just know we appreciate y'all. But cause you don't know football, cause you don't know football, cause you don't know football.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cuz You Don't Know Football. Guys, we got another good episode for you coming in today. Let me fix these lights while we're talking. We're talking about the East teams now. Okay, we done gave you the North and the South teams. Now we're gonna give you the AFC East and AFC North teams. Got my boy Haas Bay out here. In here. You understand? Oh, let me just fix this. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just get this right real quick. And then we'll be in there. Oh man, don't that look a little cleaner? Oh man. Look a little cleaner. We in there. I think we doing our thing. We just gonna get Haas to jump on and we're gonna do our thing. Haas.
Yo, what's up?
Can you hear me clearly, my man?
I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Listen, I can hear you perfect. What I
All right,
want
good.
to know is how you transform that room from Eagles green to Golden State blue. That's what I want to know, how you did that.
Well, let's not call it the Golden State Blue because I'm a Laker fan. But
What's it called? That's a Golden State jersey right there.
Yeah. Shoot, Steph Curry is a great player, man. Shoot,
Okay.
got his jersey. I can respect players. Yeah, but nah, man. It's just a simple push of the button, man. I'll just change the lights whatever I want.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Switch. Okay, I understand.
Yeah. Whatever the mood's in.
Okay. So as you know, we in here in the did they do it right or did they do it wrong? Excuse me. Did they do it right or did they do it wrong off season? So we're talking about teams right now. We're gonna talk about the East teams, the AFC East and the NFC East teams. I just want to know, based on where they were, did they do it right? Do they got more improvements, or are they going to be trash this year? And
Right.
I don't know it. All
right. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's get to it. So you being in the NFC East, what I figured, and the AFC East being real shaky right now, I figured we start in the AFC East. What you think about that?
Yeah. Let's do the AFC. Let's do the AFC. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So let's start in the AFC East. Let's start with the bottom of the division. The AFC East. Well, the Jets was at the bottom of the division, but we're gonna start with the Dolphins. Miami Dolphins finished 7-10 last year. Actually, it's better than I thought they were gonna be. To be real with you.
I think they finished exactly where they needed to finish. I think their record was exactly what it wasn't good. They're not good. They had all kinds of issues. So yeah, I think they settled exactly where they needed to be.
Okay, so we're just gonna run off some things that they did from this last offseason. So we signed. So they cut Tua. First of all, they signed Malik Willis to be the quarterback of the future. Let's see. Did they get anybody else worth really honestly talking about? Probably not. So we just
No.
But that was a big move right there. So, let's go, Miami Dolphins. All right. So once again, they cut Tua. Who else did they lose?
Tua, Tyreek Hill, Jaden Waddle. They're in a rebuild. It is obvious they're in a rebuild. They
don't even gotta tell them. I don't even gotta tell them because you basically shouted it off. So what they draft. Let's just talk about they draft. So they draft. They had 2 first-round picks. One of which they got Caden Proctor, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Yep.
And they also got Chris Johnson, not that Johnson, cornerback from State.
Yeah.
State, and then they got Jacob Rodriguez, a linebacker from Texas Tech. So Miami Dolphins 7-10. Are they gonna be worse? They gonna be better? What you thinking?
They're gonna be worse. They was gonna be worse. At least when they were 7-10 and they wasn't even good, they still had talent. So what remains to be seen is how some of these rookies that they drafted play out, right? We don't know. So if we're just going off of what they lost and the inexperience, they'll be lucky to win probably 4 games this season. To be honest with you, I think they'll be lucky and that's high for me.
Right.
I think it's one of those 2-15 seasons. To be honest with you, it's one of those, and this is probably what they want. They probably want to stack up, draft again. Miami, the way they were constructed before, they put a lot of money into that offense. It never paid off. They never got out the first round. They barely made the playoffs some seasons. So, I mean, basically, they're just scrapping house. They're going to get some young talent in there, and the only real way to do that is through trades and through free agency and through getting high value draft picks. And this is probably the best move for them. Take a year. Not saying it's not exactly taking. They just don't have the talent to compete with the other teams in the division. You know what I'm saying? In particular, like the Bills and the Patriots, right? So they're not gonna. It's not much. There's not a lot of wins on that schedule that they have. So, and it's probably better for them. So, yeah.
So I'm gonna be real with you. I agree. They're not gonna be that great this upcoming season. But I'm looking at the loss of Mike McDaniel to really be what is gonna be holding them back. I didn't like it. I actually saw a team that rebounded and caught on to what was going on, and then they let him go. And I'm like, all right, y'all gonna do that, but do you have someone better? And then everybody always tries to move off of head coaches because they didn't perform how they needed them to perform.
Yeah.
Did you bring in someone better? And more times than not, that answer is no.
Right.
Malik Willis, we'll wait and see if he is anything. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about that, but I just don't like the move of moving off of Mike McDaniel. Like,
listen, somebody had to pay for the sins of the franchise, right? You got rid of the quarterback, you got rid of the coach, you got rid of the 2-star wide receivers. So everything that made that franchise go, right? They're the ones. It's those 4. They made the franchise go. They took all the blame and they shipped them all out. So this is a new day and age for the Miami Dolphins, and especially they got it, and their home crowd. If they're looking, I would say their front office is looking at it like, all right, we have number one, we have fair weather fans to begin with. So if we're not winning, we're not making money because they're not coming to the game. You know what I'm saying? So they have to put at least a decent product enough so they can, make the type of money at the stadium that is needed to cause a profit, right? And they want merchandise and all that stuff. And the only way to do that is to get that area excited, because Miami's the type of market where the team's not doing good, they're not going to care. Like, they're not going to care. It's one of those. It's one of those bougie. It's the bougie market, man. Miami, LA's like that, but normally LA has one of their teams doing well. So, you know what I'm saying? No matter what sport it is. So it's Miami's one of those markets. You got to have a good team if you really want to get some profit. So I think that's why I think they're taking a step back and trying to put together something so they can compete in the AFC East.
I just hope that what you're saying is true and they're actually going to take a step back to take a step forward. I just feel like they took some steps back.
No. It's going to listen. It's not an easy thing to do. You got to hit on draft picks. That's number one. You got to hit on your draft picks. And you got to, through free agency, you got to bring in the right pieces. It's a lot that can go wrong while you're doing that, right? And it takes a lot of, it takes their scouting department to realize the type of talent and the type of players they need to fit whatever system they're going to run. Everything's going to be completely different now. So it's like I said, it's one of those seasons where if Miami does do something significant, it's going to be a shock, because I don't see anything from what they did in the offseason, what they lost, that is going to put them in playoff contention per se, right? So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're last. I see the Jets doing better, to be honest with you.
Cool. I'm glad that you said that. Nice little segue right over to the New York Jets. So last year they finished 3-14. They had a rough year. Now they re-signed Geno Smith in the offseason.
Yeah.
Did they have? They actually got Jelani Woods was a tight end from the Colts. He never really panned out. I saw that on there. And they also got Minka Fitzpatrick in this offseason as well.
Yes, they did. Yep.
So, all right, let's see what they lost. They lost Justin Fields to the Chiefs.
Is that a loss though?
I mean, he's a starting quarterback.
No, I'm just saying, man. And there's the thing about just I don't even think it's his fault, to be honest with you. I don't think it's his fault. I think he's been put in some bad situations because there is talent there. And it's just so happens like you get those quarterbacks that have talent and they're in the wrong system, they're in the wrong franchise, and he's been a part of franchises that legendarily don't have great quarterback play, right? In recent years, right? When's the last time? Think of the last time the Jets had a great quarterback. Now, and we're not counting Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the first play.
He wasn't great there.
He wasn't even great there, but he got hurt after.
Actually, Aaron Rodgers ain't been great since he been 12.
It's been a while. But I'm just saying. The Jets haven't had great quarterback play in a long time. The Bears haven't had great quarterback play in a long time. They now have Williams, and he's looking very promising. He's looking very promising, man. Like he's moving on up, right? He looks good. So we give him that. But in recent years, you don't look at Chicago. You're not going to say Jay Cutler was no. Even though they went to the championship game, but Jay Cutler wasn't. It's Jay Cutler. Like they didn't have great quarterback play.
All right, cool. All right, so let me tell you the Jets' edges. I mean, their draft picks. So the Jets had 3 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the most of any team, to be honest with you. But the first pick, they got David Bailey, edge rusher out of Texas Tech. Then they got Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. And then they got Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver out of Indiana. And then in the second round, they got D'Angelo Bonds, a cornerback out of Indiana.
Yeah.
So the Jets 3-14. They really didn't lose too much. They got probably the best edge rusher, the best tight end, and another very good wide receiver. What you feeling about the Jets going forward?
I like the draft.
Moving forward.
I like the Jets draft a lot. I like it for them. Problem is it's the Jets. So you got to pay attention to history sometimes, man. And it's just like the Jets, it's not like the Jets don't bring in good talent. They do. It's a whole culture. They have a whole losing culture.
Right.
So
like a gray cloud, it's
just over the franchise, right? So depending on how the culture has changed from past years, from recent history, I don't know. I do know that they're going to be better. I know that by default they're going to be better than last year, right? They're going to be better than last year. Miami's taking a step back. So if you give the Jets 2 games against Miami, I'm sure the Jets can win 3 to 4 other games in the rest of the NFL. So they're going to be better than last season by default. They're better. I think they are better equipped talent-wise because they have a quarterback in Geno that, well, Geno's not great, but Geno, being the veteran that he is, he's better fit to run an offense that is more concerned with winning than Justin Fields, because Justin Fields didn't have the support that he needed to make his talent help that team win week after week, right? Geno has been around the block. He knows how to win football games. He's not all that great, but he can win. And along with the young talent coming around, he's a good bridge into what the Jets are openly going to get in the future with a quarterback taking over the franchise. So Geno can stabilize the franchise, get a few wins, maybe some exciting wins, get the Jets fandom excited. They can win by 6 or 7 games, 6 games. I would probably say 6 games. They could probably win 6 games, and that's improvement. They won 3. That double up. So you gotta take steps. You gotta take steps in this.
So I'm probably less optimistic as you about to.
Okay.
So first of all, and I hate to say anything bad about a black head coach, Aaron Glenn got to be a lot better. And according to you, you said 6 or 7 wins. I'm not sure if 6 or 7 wins saves his job this year, based off of them going 3-14, and that saves his job. So if I'm right, and Aaron Glenn's probably going to be out this year, which means they're going to be looking for a whole new head coach next year. The best thing that I could say about them is that they did not take the bait and just draft a quarterback.
Right.
And they'll be in a position to go get a really talented quarterback this year. But I got to see all this shape up. And like I said, I just don't know exactly what I'm looking at with them. I mean, they definitely have the building blocks for it, but they need that quarterback, and they got to get the quarterback position right. Right now, they got the worst quarterback in their division, and Malik Willis is also in that division. So they got the worst quarterback in their division, and
Geno quite possibly been the worst quarterback in the league last year.
They got the worst quarterback in the division. Hold on. They got the worst quarterback in the division, and as far as I've seen, the worst head coach in the division too. And that is not boding well for wins for the New York Jets, in my opinion. In 5, I might give them 5.
But 5, 6, but they're the same. Like 5 and 6 is the same. Like, it don't really. You talking about
5 and 7 is different.
5
6 and 7.
Well, I said 6, possibly 7. You got to see. I always think about so much stuff that happens in the season, right? You could be going into the last week of season. They could be playing like the Patriots, or the Bills or something, and they already have things wrapped up. They ain't trying to really do nothing. That's how you can get a 7th win out of nowhere, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just thinking in hypotheticals. There's a lot of things that go on. There's injuries that happen. There's a lot of things that happen in the course of the season. So I always take that into play when I'm thinking, like, well, how much can a team win? Like, you got to think about these things, man. I'm not thinking like everybody's going to be healthy and everybody's going to do this. I'm thinking like something can go wrong, blah 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 blah. You can stick 7 wins. Doesn't mean you deserve them, but it might just happen off the default. Like, you don't know.
But I'd say 6. But I see 6.
I just like when I see it. I've seen head coach. Look at Kellen Moore in New Orleans last year. You can't tell me you looked at that roster and said they about to win the last 4 games. The last month of the season, they're not going to lose 1 game. They can be improved. And when I don't see it, I kind of call certain things the problem.
Yeah.
And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Well, you said a good thing. Like, even if they do win like 6 games or whatever, like, it may not be enough to save his job, then so be it. That's not if management think like, you know what, this is not the right guy, then more power to him, because the Jets now they're the opposite of Miami. They play in one of the most craziest markets, and they've been the little brother of the Giants since the beginning of time, basically. So they need something good to happen, and they can't be wasting time letting the Giants take all the headlines and stuff, right? So yeah, they gotta make something happen for themselves. Maybe 6 wins may not cut it for Aaron Glenn, but it's not about him right now. It's about what they're gonna do, and they'll be better than last year. They'll be better. Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's keep moving up on this AFC East. And surprisingly, and it's still, even I'm about to say it, it's not gonna feel right. The second place team in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills, at 12-5. Now, who did they lose? What did happen? Well, let's talk about who they got. They got DJ Moore, wide receiver DJ Moore from the Bears. Okay, so they got
good move.
Did they bring in anybody else worth talking about? I mean, they brought in Bradley Chubb. They brought in CJ Gardner Johnson.
That's a good move.
They trying. Cool. Let's see who they lost. They lost. Did they lose Gabe Davis? They might have lost Gabe Davis. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. At this point, he might still be there. I didn't hear anything. Did he get moved? I didn't hear anything.
I'm not sure. We'll keep that out for right now. So for what we can prove right now, they didn't really lose anybody worth talking about. So their draft they did not have a first round pick. In the second round, they got T.J. Parker, edge from Clemson. Also in the second round, they got David I ain't gonna try to pronounce that last name. A cornerback from Ohio State. And in the fourth round, they got Jude Bowery, offensive tackle from Boston College. So the Bills going to finish not in first place again in the AFC East.
Oh, you know what? It's gonna that. What's their? Before I answer that question, and I should have looked this up before I got on that. Hold on, let me check one thing real quick. With the Pats, well, do you know if the Pats and the Bills play the last game of the season
this year?
Yeah, because that. Hold on, I'm about to see Pats.
It's the very last game,
like week 18.
I mean, there's a lot of games.
2026 season. I'm about to find out because it might come down to that game. To be honest with you, I ain't gonna hold you. It might come down to that game. So as I'm pulling that,
I'm about to tell you right now. No, the last game of the season is.
So they're playing. So they're each gonna play one of the sorry teams, right? So here's my thing about the Bills. Number one, they got rid of McDermott. I think that was the wrong move. I don't care what it. I think that was.
Damn it! I agree.
Yeah, I don't think that was. Yeah, I think. See, and this is the problem. Miami did the same thing though, but Miami sucks. So that's so they can get away with putting the blame on the head coach and getting them out of there, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about a dude in McDermott that took that team to the conference championship game, only to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs that damn near go to the Super Bowl every season, right? Like, you lose basically to top tier teams in the playoffs. Year in, year out. You're right there on the cusp. It's not a head coach better that's out there for them to get them over the hump. It's really just
I got a question.
The play on the field. It's the play on the field. Go ahead.
No, so here's my question. First of all, I totally agree with you. I'll go as far as to say it's not Sean McDermott's fault why they lost.
No.
And now this is what I'm thinking. The Buffalo Bills are falling into the same trap that like this new NFL is falling into. They're taking pass rushers seriously enough, right? So they're saying, "Oh, we can just get good enough pass rush and they'll get over a hump." Every time they lost, it's because they couldn't get to another team's quarterback. We could put up in the 50th percentile, 50th, 51st percentile. That's where we at with this. My question to you is, do you think that they did enough getting to solve the problem? Did they solve a problem this year?
No, they didn't solve a problem. They added like what did they add more? They added more, right? Or was that the Patriots? Yeah. Which one of those teams got Romeo Doubs?
Romeo Doubs?
That's the Patriots. Yeah, so they got more. They got DJ Moore, right?
We got DJ.
So okay, decent quarterback. You lose Stephon Diggs, right? So I would say, to be honest with you, it might be even. Like, I don't think you lost or gained because they wasn't utilizing Stephon Diggs. I don't think they was utilizing him the way you would think that you would utilize him, or he might have lost a step. It was one or the other, like, or a combination of both, right? So you're not really gaining him more. You're just changing the name in the locker room. Basically, the locker room spot is now his. So no, I think the loss of McDermott is heavier than any acquisition that they had, because now you're talking about changing the culture all of a sudden in the middle of their run. Mm-hmm. The middle of the run. You had just let the Patriots leapfrog you into going into the Super Bowl, right? You let the Patriots leapfrog you. So you think changing your head coach is the best way to show the fan base, yeah, we mean business, and we're not going to take this too lightly. He's not the reason they move on. Josh Allen in these playoff games, when they lose, he turns the football over. He gives up possessions. He makes bonehead decisions.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get rid of Josh Allen.
Yes.
And
Go ahead.
nobody should. But that's not on. Nobody should. I mean, I don't care what mistakes he's making. You're not getting rid of Josh Allen.
Okay.
But you don't get rid of Sean McDermott because of the team not playing. He's not out there running the plays. Right? He's not doing that. He's not even the offensive coach. It's not.
Right.
And the defense is played well enough for them to be in games. So don't get rid of the head coach. I feel like they made the bad move. Go ahead.
But hold on. But we're not. But you also got to ask, why is Josh Allen turning over the ball in the playoffs? And I'm going to give you perspective. If for 17 weeks, Haas, if you was the host of Cuz You Don't Know Football for 17 weeks, right, and we get into the playoffs, and you've been carrying my ass, and you've been carrying everything, and you put everything that could have gone wrong, you was the reason why it went right. And then the team says, oh, we only got a game plan. We don't have to project 3-4 weeks. We just got to win this game. So now every mistake that you made, every throw that you made, everything that you bailed everybody out, I'm now prepared for. And you don't have anything that puts me into a clear-cut bad situation on the flip side of things. I mean, it's so much pressure on him every week. Like, he's got to turn into Superman. I said that. If Josh Allen don't turn into Superman, they're going home. And unfortunately for turning into Superman, when you do it and you show people you can turn into Superman, everybody looks at you, and when you just are a normal or just playing good or not playing bad or just playing average, now they look at it and say, well, you wasn't Superman, so it was your fault. This isn't Josh Allen's fault. It wasn't McDermott's fault either. This was the fault of the defense that we looked at and said it was a strength of their team, and they put people in a bad situation, and that's what they were supposed to be able to do. That is why Josh Allen turned the ball over so many times. He had to do everything all the time, and that
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. There's no way. Because you had me up until you said that's why he's hurt. No, there's no reason why. Josh Allen, this happens. This is his thing. Remember when the whole thing was he was just turning over the football, he's throwing picks, he's fumbling the football, he's doing this.
Career. I remember.
Yes, this is part of his MO. This is on his resume.
Yes,
he got better at it the season before. The season before, he got better at it. He got better at not turning over the football. But it is on his resume. So you say in a game, oh, if he don't turn into Superman, but he's still playing good. No, he gets paid to be Superman. He gets paid.
No,
the way he gets paid.
I disagree.
Listen, hear me out for a second. The way he gets paid to be Superman. Lamar Jackson gets paid to be Superman. Patrick Mahomes gets paid to be Superman, and he's damn near Superman every goddamn time, right? He's always Superman. Patrick Mahomes then went down the field on on Josh Allen's defense in 13 seconds. Do we all remember that? Right? When it was impossible. They thought they were going to the championship game. They thought they was gonna go beat the Bengals and go to the Super Bowl. No, 13 seconds, Patrick Mahomes, he was Superman. So yes, when you're in that top tier quarterback, I don't care what defense you have, I don't care what it is. When you're one of those elites, you gotta be Superman. If your team's not holding up their end, you gotta be Superman in those big moments. And that's on Josh Allen. I'm sorry. It is.
I got a question. It's not a question. Here's the problem with what you said.
What's that?
The market is not dictated by who turns into Superman. The market is dictated at the bottom of who's good. So the players that are overpaid, they're paid the same amount as these guys that can turn into Superman. So the fact of the matter is, if you're telling me that the only reason Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, the only reason they get paid is to turn Superman, then you gotta tell me why these trash ass quarterbacks are getting paid the same amount of money as them.
The market's fucked up.
Because when we know they ain't turning into Superman never.
The market's messed up.
The market's messed up. But
you're not paying. See, you could. Let's put it to you like this. Dak in Dallas.
You gotta go to the next one.
Dak in Dallas. No, Dak is paid to be Superman. He is. He's paid
Superman,
to be.
though?
In the regular season, he's Superman.
But is he Superman? Is he?
But he was paid to be Superman in the playoffs. He has not been Superman in the playoffs. Okay. He's paid. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I can go through a list of names that are paid to be Superman. But through those list of names,
those guys,
some of those guys, a lot of those guys on that list never fulfill that obligation, right? They get paid for that, but they don't fulfill that obligation, right? We're still waiting for Justin Herbert to be Superman. At least all the analysts are. They love him, right? And they're still there. They love his talent. He's supposed to be Superman. He's supposed to be the one. And they're still waiting to this day for his playoff performance to be Superman, right? So that's what I'm saysaying. Like, a lot of quarterbacks are paid to do that. Just a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's go to the Patriots. Let's go.
Because we can stay on here. I just want you to know we got about.
No, we can.
Yeah. Drake May was paid to be. Well, he's not. He got his rookie. He got his rookie contract. He got his rookie contract, but he needed to be Superman in the Super Bowl, and he wasn't. We could talk about him.
So Patriots 14-3 last year. So in terms of who they signed Elijah Vera Tucker. They got Romeo Dobbs, and that's pretty much all they got in terms of who they signed. Who did they let go of? They got let go of Stephon Diggs. I actually didn't like that move. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of they didn't lose too much. Now, in terms of their draft,
I serious. Stephon Diggs, Bills get rid of him. Pats get rid of him. Like
he's an enigma. In the first round, they got Caleb Alamu, offensive tackle for Utah. In the second round, they got Gabe Jukas, edge rusher from Illinois. And in the third round, they got Eli Rattern, tight end for Notre Dame. Now, let me just say this first, because you're going to have probably a lot more to say about them. They're going to probably win this division, and it has more to do with the fact of I just don't like what the Bills did and what they thought was good.
I agree.
I also think they need another edge rusher. I'm a person that I don't like getting edge rushers in the second round. That's a thing for me.
Okay. Why is that?
Because with certain positions, you need them to be the guy. You need them to be difference makers. Quarterback, you cannot get a guy. You know what I mean? Edge rusher would be the next position where I would say you can't get a guy. You got to get. So if different than the guy you would draft in the top 5 picks, you got to draft them at the end of the draft, in my opinion. Because they might be good, they might be starters, but they're not going to be difference makers.
Yeah, it might sound a good word. I got you.
So that's why I don't like it. But New England, I'm curious about them. I'm going to be slow on them because I don't know what Drake May is going to turn into. I did not like him in the playoffs. He clearly was amazing in the regular season because he was a MVP candidate. But in the playoffs, when the lights came on in the playoffs, was that him like shrinking, or was what was going on there? So I got to be slow on him and the Patriots. To that one, I need to see a little bit more. Not too much to say on
that. To answer that question, right? Was it so in the playoffs? It's completely different because you're when it comes down to playoff time, you're scouting teams differently. The game plan is more focused. This is not week in, week out. This is your whole season's on the line. So they're looking at his strengths, his weaknesses throughout the whole season. They're able to game plan against him. And it just so happened that New England's defense stepped up to the plate and kept them from getting bounced out, right? So exactly, right? So in spite of what Drake May wasn't able to do consistently in the playoffs, he was able to move on to the Super Bowl, which ultimately not having the most efficient quarterback play hurt them in the Super Bowl, right? So what I look at right now, and we can assume that I'm going to go ahead and assume that A.J. Brown is going to be a New England Patriot, right? I'm going to go ahead and assume that come June 1st or right after June 1st, right? So if you add him to the mix to what they already had, Stephon Diggs last year was on that roster. That's a major upgrade. See, when the Bills lost Stephon Diggs, and they really didn't replace him last season. They're basically replacing him now. It took them like a year or two or whenever it was when he left. Right. So it basically took a season or a couple seasons for them to find a replacement, which isn't really a replacement for me. Like I don't think Josh Allen still has a true number one receiver, right? But as far as New England Patriots, you get rid of Stephon Diggs, bring in AJ Brown.
That's an
And
upgrade. That's an upgrade.
it's a major and Romeo Doc, major upgrade in the wide receiver room.
Absolutely.
Right. So now Drake May doesn't have to have everything on his shoulders. He has weapons he can get the ball to. They should be, I don't know if it's going to be record wise, but as far as come playoff time, they'll be way more equipped to deal with teams like Denver, which you got to remember, Denver didn't have their quarterback, and New England went in and won an ugly game in Denver to get to the Super Bowl, right? So if we're looking at both teams being healthy or healthy enough to compete in the playoffs, now you got AJ Brown, you got Romeo Doubs. Now you can really go at that Denver defense and give them some problems. Hopefully they can protect Drake May a little bit, and he should be better. They should be better. I don't necessarily know if it's going to mean they're going to be 14-3, 15-2. They might be 13-4, 12-5, but be a better equipped to go win a Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying? So they should win that division. I think the Bills will be stuck at 2. Unless they get incredible play from Josh Allen, and he's just putting them in position to win week in, week out to challenge New England. And I do see the Pats winning that division. I do see the Bills making noise enough to be right on their heels, because they're just going to look, both of them they should be able to beat Miami. They should be able to beat the Jets.
I'm going to say
So that's
the Patriots are better than the Bills. Okay, the Patriots are better than the Bills.
Yeah, so you're talking about both of them probably going 4-0 in the division if you exclude them playing each other, right? They should beat the Jets and the Miami Dolphins, both, right? So then you're looking at them going head to head. They might split. So if they split, you might see the Bills like right there. If let's say if the Patriots win 13 games, the Bills might be winning 11 or 12. You know what I'm saying? Like I see it being like that. But I do think the Pats are better. I think they should win the division. I think they're a Super Bowl contender again. I think Drake May is going to be better because he's going to have better weapons, and that's going to make him better. So that's where I'm at with it.
Right. So I guess what I should say is, based on how their defense stepped up in the postseason, because in the regular season it wasn't as good as they were in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
So we're projecting to see if their defense makes that step consistently, or you know what I mean, was it for that time frame? And Drake May not turn into shit like he did in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But those two things, I'm saying both of them things ain't going to go wrong for them. I have less questions about both of them things going wrong, and I think they'll be able to figure it out. Like, I have way more questions about Buffalo than I do New England right now.
I do too. Yep.
All right. All right, cool. We should probably stop it right there. We're going to take 5, and then we'll come back and do the NFC East teams. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's what you trying to get to, you know?
No, I mean, I'm cool with all of them. It don't matter to me.
I'm cool.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let's take 5.
All right.
Well, man, I just want you to know that was just round 1, man. I got a lot of heat left for you, man.
I know.
I don't know if you heard. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to know.
I hear you, man. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right. So, jumping over to the NFC East, your home division, you know, what do you feel about the state of the NFC East while I put some things together? Give me 1 minute. What do you feel about the state of the NFC East?
It was like Michael Jackson and the Jacksons, the Eagles division. And the Cowboys might be Jermaine.
That was
And,
the yo. I swear to God, my next question was gonna be who's Jermaine.
yeah, the Cowboys are Jermaine.
I
Like-
swear to God.
Like they could probably go solo, but yeah, right now, I mean, it is what it is right now. Like they go ahead, wherever we want to go. Let's
We are going to start at second place. Well, not the last place team. The team right above that. The Washington Commanders.
Okay.
They were 5-12 last year. Let's see what they did. They brought in running back Jerome Ford from the Browns, and they brought in Rashad White, running back from the Bills. From the Bucks. Did they do anything? They got Laramie Tunsil, offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty big. Did they do anything else? You know what's crazy? There's a Chris Paul in the NFL. Yeah. And they got him.
They got Chris Paul.
Okay. That's pretty much the big things that they got. Who did they lose?
They lost the old heads. Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz. And they lost somebody else.
Marshall Lattimore.
Yeah, the old heads.
Yep.
They lost the old heads. They wanted to go. They want to go younger. Yeah. Well, he got hurt at the end. So
Right.
so not just his age, like a combination of his age, the injury is just who knows what his career is probably over.
With their first round pick, they got Sonny Styles, linebacker from Ohio State. In the third round, they got Antonio Williams, wide receiver from Clemson, and in the fifth round, they got Joshua Josephs, edge rusher from Tennessee. Washington about to win y'all division this year, man.
No, they'll probably go 5-12 again. Be honest, it like I don't see. Here's the thing. I think the year they went to the championship game, the year before, right? They went to the championship game. They was hot. They had, they benefited off of having a poor schedule. They won some incredible games at the end, walk-off games, right? Comeback games, all kinds of games that season where they won in so many impossible fashions. And then had that great playoff run that took them to the championship game. But all in all, what we seen last year, number one, you had the Jaden Daniels injury issues, right? But even when he was there, it's like the league caught on to what they were doing, right? So they were more prepared for Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels probably didn't take that next step, right? He probably had hurt, but still.
He wasn't taking no steps. He was hurt.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't hurt the whole time. Right. So he might be better off. He might have that step. He might take that step this season, realizing one, he probably didn't get as better as he thought in the offseason. And two, he did have the injury, so he has a lot to prove, right? But whether he makes the step or not, I don't think it really matters because I don't think their roster and the way the NFC is stacked up, the whole conference alone. I think they're going to lose a lot of football games. They'll be in games, but I think they're going to lose a lot of football games. I think they got to add some more. I think they got to add some more like true talent, like in their skill positions, right? Like you have Scary Terry, but you're gonna need like they need. I feel like they need a true number one running back. I feel like they need a true, if you want to call it a number two receiver. I feel like they need I think they need some more protection on the offensive line. I feel like they're defensively they'll be all right, but not in a place where they're going to be competing like they was 2 years ago. So, I know we'll talk about the Giants in a minute, but
Real quick, because I don't have much to say about the Commanders, to be honest with you.
okay. Yeah, I just think they probably will be last in the division. That's just my personal opinion. I think they will be last in the division. And that's it. That's all I got on. I don't see anything special about them right now.
See, the problem with the Commanders is I just simply don't care about the Washington Commanders right now. Now, the only thing that I'll say in their defense is the last time I didn't care anything about them, they went to the NFC Championship game. So, I'm looking at their roster. Like you said, they let go of a lot of vets, so they started over. It could have lightning could strike twice. They don't have anything outside of Jaden Daniels, and now I gotta watch him too. Because just like we had to watch like CJ Stroud because he had a really good rookie year and then he really didn't have another great year, or I mean, there's other guys too, but I gotta now watch him to see where he's at. But
Yes.
in terms of the team, there's nothing on this team that's making me say, "Oh, this gets them a couple more games."
Yeah, and that's basically what I'm saying. Also on the CJ Stroud thing, it like we all had those questions about CJ Stroud. Like, what are we watching? Like, where's the guy from the rookie season? But I do give CJ Stroud this. He does perform in the playoffs. I give him that.
Playoffs?
For whatever.
What playoffs? Last year's playoffs?
CJ Stroud.
He didn't perform shit, and like that was the. Oh, all right. Well, see,
He performed.
we
He
gonna talk about
performed.
that off camera because that's gonna
Yeah.
take a long time. But
I'm just saying he gets
No.
he gets you out the first round. He gets you out the first
he
round.
did not get them out of shit. His defense got them out of the first and second round.
He's playing
He
quarterback.
didn't do it.
He's playing quarterback. He's undefeated in the first round. But anyway,
On his side. I was on his side. Okay. No, absolutely.
no, but back to Washington. We all remember RG3, right? So this is like the second coming.
Feels.
It's the second coming because Jaden, all he does is get hurt, bro, and that's he has a small frame. He's got to protect his body, man. So he's running and all that stuff. Like he's got to protect himself, right? So he's got to get stronger this offseason. Hopefully he's in the weight room. It doesn't necessarily mean he has to pack on so much weight. He just needs to strengthen up you got to strengthen up your body, right? He can stay around the same weight. He just got to get stronger. He got to be more prepared to take on hits. He's got to be smarter when to run, when to throw the ball away. He's just got to be smarter to stay because their best opportunity is him on the field, and him not being on the field and them not really improving as a football team in general led to their demise. And I see whether he's healthy or not, unless they make some type of big trade that gives him another weapon that can boost the offense a little bit. I see them being last in the division.
Cool. So let's move on to those New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
They last year were 4-13. Let's see, who did they get? They got a fullback. They got Patrick Ricard from the Ravens. They brought in Calvin Austin the third. Darnell Mooney. They brought in Isaiah Likely as their big signing.
That's a great signing. Great signing.
Who else do we looking at here? That's pretty much it. So who did they lose? They lost Russ, man. How you lose Russ?
You talking about how they lose Russ? They didn't lose 2013 Russ.
Sierra
So
never.
they good.
Sierra would never.
Listen.
They lost Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans.
That's okay.
Who else did they lose? Dexter Lawrence. They traded Dexter Lawrence.
Now he went out of there. That's a big loss. He went out of there.
That's a big loss.
That's a big loss. We're never gonna sugarcoat that. And a big game for Cincinnati because they need whatever help on defense.
Okay, cool. So with their draft, they got. I almost felt like I was reading the same name again. I was like, did I read the same name? But nope, it's a different one.
Yeah.
With their first pick, they got Arbel Reese, linebacker from Ohio State. They had 2 first-round picks. Then they got Francis Maui Gao, offensive tackle from Miami.
Yep.
And in the second round, they got Colton Hood, quarterback from Tennessee.
Yeah, I like it. I like the draft.
They gonna be able to rebound from losing Russ, though, man. What you think about these Giants this year, man?
You're silly. Listen, man. I like the likely move the most. Because that gives Jackson Dart that security blanket, right? And not just a security blanket. You can split him out. You can split him out wide. You can put him in different spots across the field. You can send him in motion. He's a great weapon to have. He's John Harbaugh's boy. We didn't even talk about that. They got John Harbaugh now as their head coach, right? So the culture is going to change. He brings a winning background, a winning attitude. I mean, he's got his Super Bowl. He had the Ravens in position to get to the Super Bowl just a few years ago. Who they lose to? Patrick Mahomes, like everybody else does. And yeah, I think the Giants, to be honest with you, they're not going to be last in the division. I think just off of the head coaching change, I like what they did in the draft, just adding some pieces that to keep building young. And I think they can win. I mean, it may just be one more game, but they can win 6. And I think they should pass Washington and at least be third in the division. That's just me.
Okay. So I'm saying on paper, if you look at their depth chart right now, this is a team that could win 8 or 9 games.
Could.
So
NFC East tough.
What I'm saying is, so what does that look like in the NFC East when the Eagles have turmoil? We got to see how we'll talk more about the Eagles, but we got to see what it is that they're going to be able to rebound with. They're replacing greats with rookies, and that might take them a year to figure that out. So now, you know what I mean? So I think they're going to be in the NFC East running. I don't see them being a 4 or 5 win team. I see them being in that running. I love their defensive line. They got one of the best defensive lines in football.
Yeah.
Yes.
It remains to be seen.
Yes, they have one of the best defensive lines in football. If Jackson Dart is able to take a step forward and they could take pressure off of him, I'm telling you what it is. Like, this would be the team that I would look at that when you talk about the worst to firsts, that would be the candidate if we're looking at why Dallas hasn't been good and why the Eagles fell short. They don't have those issues, and they got a real dominant. They're dominant where they need to be dominant if Jackson Dart takes a step forward. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no problem. I don't really agree. I will say they can win 8, 9 games. They can.
Listen,
They can. But
can I just say to everybody listening?
This don't got nothing to do with the Eagles. This don't have nothing to do with the Eagles.
Anything that I'm gonna say nice about any of these teams, he gonna be like, I guess.
Dallas is significantly a better football team, and I guess we're going to talk about them next.
We are going to talk about that.
Let's talk about them because they are significantly a better football team than the New York Giants.
I will say, in us moving forward in this, Dallas might be the better football team. They're not significantly better though, and
I think they're better. I think they're better, and I think they're better. I think they're better in ways where Dallas. All right, so look, Dallas offense is never the issue. It's never the issue with the offense, right? It's will they fix the defense enough to be in one of those upper echelon teams? That's the thing.
Okay.
The offense is not really the issue.
So stay right there, and I'll introduce the Dallas Cowboys.
Go ahead.
So the Cowboys last year they went 7-9. Who did they get? They signed Marquez Valdes-Scantling. They signed Rashawn Gary. From the Packers. They signed. That's pretty much all they signed. From last year. Who did they lose? They lost. Did they lose anybody? Jadeveon Clowney, they lost. He actually played pretty good for them.
Yeah.
They lost Solomon Thomas, the defensive lineman. He was actually pretty decent. Yeah, and that's how they pretty much lost from last year. Now let's look at their draft. Dallas,
I think they had a good draft.
they got Caleb Downs in the first round, safety from Ohio State. And then they had 2 first-round picks, and then they got Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher from UCF. And then in the third round, they got Jay-Sean Barham, edge rusher from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You mind if I go first before you?
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'm not as high on the Cowboys as I don't think their ceiling is as high as you may think it is.
Okay.
Does that mean the NFC East, of course, is about right? If we're going to be having a real honest conversation, it's about how the Eagles are going to perform and what Eagles we're going to get. That's the truth. That's the truth. With that said, if the Eagles happen to not advance, right, just to keep that step back being maintained, yes, there is a lane for them to now win the division. But once again, getting a edge rusher in with the 23rd pick in the first round and the third round, I don't think like if sometimes there's edge rushers that are good. Like I'm a Colts fan. Mathis, Robert Mathis is in the 5th round. I know it happens, but are you banking on this person to be like transformational? Like I don't like it. I don't feel as though they improve that defense. I felt like if you're gonna get Quentin Williams, then what are you getting rid of Michael Parsons for? Then I would have something that I would be like, that's something to be worried about, you know? But as currently constructed, they're just the same defense. Caleb Williams is a rookie. We'll see what he got going on. But he's a rookie, you know? And Dak is Dak. He's good. I like the offense. But I still see scenarios where Dak has to be the guy for them to be great. And I don't like every time Dak has impressed me, he's actually had to do a little bit less. He's handed the ball off more. Decisions were a lot easier for him to make, not having to dictate to someone else. So I don't like him in that role. You know, so I'm gonna have a glass half empty guy on the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm certain you're about to tell me, based off of what you were telling me, that something different about them.
I mean, look, like I said, the offense
For this year, just for this year.
Yeah, the offense should be one of the best in the NFL. So that right off the bat, that gives you an opportunity to win games, even if your defense is porous. I feel like they made some strides to improve on defense through the offseason. They're going young, they're bringing in young guys, they're bringing in young talent. If they can get that together, they can definitely win double-digit wins. They can have double-digit wins this season. They can win 10, 11 games, and quite possibly be in position to win the division because, I mean, they're gonna most likely split with Philly. That's what happens normally every year, right? It's hard. It's hard to either one of those teams to switch up.
It almost was a sweep.
Yeah, well, almost is only counts in horseshoes and cornhole. So, they did split, and no, Dallas was good in both games, right? The both games it was what
I'm just giving them their props where props is due.
Yeah, no, both games were within 3 points, right? So, yeah, Dallas is closer to Philly than what people maybe give them credit for. It's just again, like we said with the Jets, that cloud over the franchise. The cloud's been over the Cowboys franchise since 1995, 96, right? So, they have this thing where they've had teams where they had plenty of talent. They have teams where they've been in position. They've had number one seedings and never came through. So it remains to be seen how good the Cowboys can actually be. But as far as what they are on paper and what they have been the last few seasons, they can win 10, 11 games and challenge for the division. So I'm still picking them second. I feel like the Eagles are way more complete. And they still have that edge of being in. They still have players that's been in that Super Bowl, that's been on playoff runs, that's won the division back-to-back years now, 3 times out the last 4 years. So yeah, I get the edge to the Eagles there, but Dallas will challenge for that division crown, I think.
And like I said, I said it once, I say it again. What you're saying about the Cowboys, for me, I can say the same thing about the Giants. And
Understandable.
and I feel as though people look at the Giants as way worse.
But you say that because of their defense.
I'm like, they could catch you off guard.
You say that because of their defense, though, right?
Absolutely. If Jackson Dart is not taking a sophomore slump, if he does not have a sophomore slump, defense, the running game, they have a complement of running backs. Their receivers, their tight end. You know what I mean? Jim Harbaugh being their new head coach, like they're the team that I'm looking at. I'm like, if you think that they're ass, you're about to find.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. So me personally, I don't think the Giants are ass at all. What I do think is just for them to win 8 or 9 games, a lot got to go right. I think it's there. I think what they have in the building is potentially there. For that to happen, a lot has to go right, and that's all. I think I think it's more likely that the Cowboys will win 10 games before the Giants will win 9. That's just my opinion. I think Dallas's offense, the offense is hard to stop, man. Like I can't stress that enough. Like it is hard. It is hard to stop, and I hate giving.
Now that's
any team.
Point.
If any team, I don't want to give compliments. I don't want to give.
I'm like, all right, that's a teetering point, and I'll give you that. That was, yes, it probably would be more likely for Dallas to win 10 games than them win 9, but I also think it might be equally. They both win 8. You know,
and listen, that's what it could be, right? You could be right.
Okay. So, with that said, we know why you here, brother. Okay, you don't have to hide it. You know, you. I appreciate it. First of all, I'm gonna give you a round of applause. You were fairer than I could have imagined you being. Okay,
I'm not here to trash teams.
This was fair of you. Okay, but we know why you're here.
Listen, I'm not here to trash those teams. This is not trash talk against my division opponents. Like I got plenty of time to do that off camera.
So we from South Jersey. You know how it go. You know how it go. So
I hate them all. I hate them all.
So with that said, the Philadelphia Eagles, NFC East champs again. 11-6. 11-6 last year. Let's go. Let's see who did they get? Y'all got Andy Dalton. No, I'm not. Y'all
Red Rocket, man.
Y'all did sign a lot of wide receivers though. Y'all got Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore, Dontavian Wicks. Let's see who else did y'all get?
We got Rick Wooden.
Y'all got quarterback Tariq Wood. Absolutely. Absolutely, actually. He's a beast. All right, let's see who y'all lost.
Super Bowl champ.
I lost AJ Dillon to the Panthers. He never really did nothing for y'all. Jahai Jackson to the Falcons.
He was decent, but we improved.
Had Colin Granson. I didn't even know y'all had Colin Granson. I don't even know Colin.
He was.
He was a Colt. That's the only reason I know who he is. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. Jalen Phillips. I'm gonna be honest with you. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to.
Kobe Dean.
Rick Chiffgong.
Reed Blankenship to the Texans and Steve Brown to the Falcons.
Yeah.
And let's see what your draft looking like. With the first pick, y'all of course got Malachi Lemon, wide receiver from USC. In the second round, y'all got Eli Stowers, tight end from Vanderbilt. And in the third round, y'all got Markel Bell, offensive tackle from Miami. I'm gonna be honest with you. Jalen Phillips got loose, I was like, yo, can my coach please go sign him, yo? I don't know why y'all let him go, but y'all got always have a plan. And
you know why. So we didn't know. We don't have the money for. You said a contract that he got. We can't pay that, man. We don't have the money for it. That's all. That's what it came down to. It came down because the Eagles tried to re-sign him. They just couldn't match the offer that he got.
Fair.
So it's not. It was business,
Fair.
and more power to him. He played himself into that contract, showing that he stayed healthy when he got to Philly last year. He stayed healthy the whole season.
He
He
changed
showed
the dynamic, the trajectory of your defense.
exactly. He stayed healthy all season. He made an impact. Team seen that, and he got his money, man. So more power to him. It was going to be hard to keep him because the Eagles obviously are invested a lot in a ton of different players, especially on offense.
All right.
So,
All right. So
yeah.
tell me. So continue to tell me about your Eagles. 11-6 last year. We going up. We going down. We lost to a team you probably expected to beat.
It's all good.
What are you feeling? What are you feeling about?
So this is what I feel, especially that I get to pay attention to them every day. The AJ Brown potentially leaving is addition by subtraction, right? Because this is what happened with the AJ Brown thing. We won the Super Bowl. He got his ring. For him, he's worried about he wants his numbers. Like, I done won my Super Bowl. I'm a champion. I want to keep up with the numbers. Like, I want the same numbers as Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. So I can't be mad at that because he did help us win the Super Bowl. Can't be mad at that. So last year he expressed, I don't want to be here. I'm not getting the ball at a high clip. It's not that he's not getting the ball. He's not getting the ball at a high clip. And that changed 2 years ago once we got Saquon Barkley. We got Saquon Barkley. AJ Brown was the focus of the offense. He was the focus. He was the number one weapon. That turned into Saquon Barkley. And the way the offense changed, it was a more let's say the ball was spread it around more, right? Because the receivers got less touches because Barkley was getting a lot of touches just running the football, right? Devontae Smith started getting more touches compared to AJ Brown losing touches. And AJ's, for whatever reason, AJ's ego that didn't sit well with him, right? So for him and the Eagles' sake, they needed to part ways. 4 years, great, needed to part ways. Now, what the Eagles did, they got in so much receiver help, right? They brought in 3 receivers from free agency and trades, right? Then they go in the draft, get one of the best receivers in the draft, which is a dude that will get open, go across the middle, and change the dynamic of the offense. Now, we had Sean Mannion, that's the offensive coordinator, right? So we're going to be running a totally different offense where it will focus on, now the focus will be not just, hey, let's hand the ball off to Saquon, AJ Brown deep ball, throw to Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the offense is not going to be simplistic anymore. It's going to be more motion. It's going to be more of Hurts being under center, dropping back, play action. So what was so predictable about the Eagles offense last season, I feel like that's going to change. So the Eagles will be, if all things being fair, they will be a better football team than last year. It should represent in their record as well. They should be the clear-cut favorite in the division and hold one of those top 3 seeds in the conference. The defense is still young, still got a lot of guys, a lot of good talent from the Super Bowl team. They just brought in Breek Woolen, who just won his own Super Bowl. So you got champions on that side of the defense, a bunch of ballers, right? Now we did lose Reed Blankenship, but that's not a significant loss. Anybody can replace him. We the Kobe Dean, they brought in Jahad Campbell to replace him last year, regardless. So are you really losing something? I think what we are losing from the Kobe Dean is that downhill stopping the run. He was really good at that. But this is what they brought in J.R. Camp. They already seen this happening. And then the Phillips, I don't think we can replace Phillips. I just think it's gonna be we did get homie from the Vikings to solidify that edge rusher spot though. So we might have more of a pass rusher where Jaden Phillips sealed the edge and gave you some pass rush, but he sealed the edge well. So we have a different type of edge with the homie from the Vikings. He's more of a natural pass rusher. So I see the Eagles winning 12-13 games.
Okay.
12, 13 games. There's nothing different from before. They won 11 last year, and the offense was as simplistic as you can ever see an offense. Very predictable. So the defense should be good. They should be good. They should win the division. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna let you tell me that you're a better football team, and I'm not
And last year?
than last year.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And I'm not gonna let you tell me that losing AJ Brown this year
This year,
is. I'm talking
potentially.
about this year. I'm talking about this year. I'm saying I'm
Potentially.
not gonna be better this year from him. The best
Okay.
thing that you could say about AJ Brown is that his relationship with Jalen Hurts is so bad.
Mhm.
Put him in such a bad situation that his play plummeted that much because AJ Brown's existence. But the ability to spread the ball around, I recognize the talent that's on the team. I don't think that anytime that you lose a pass rusher and gain a cornerback, I think you lose something there. I'm a guy, you win in the trenches. And I think Super Bowl teams you win in the trenches. So losing Jalen Phillips is going to hurt you more than what you gained getting Rick Woolen. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now losing your offensive coordinator probably helps you out a little bit more because he was real bad. He was real bad. I'm being nice about this.
Yeah. Come on now.
But
Come on.
I mean that was
Come on.
that was terrible. But you know what I mean. I'm looking at your roster. I think you're as good as you were last year. I think your best case scenario is that continuity improves.
Yeah.
Because I don't think talent wise, losing Nicole Dean and Jalen Phillips, you lose a lot of what you got. Of course, we know what Carter is. We know what Jordan Phillips is. We know y'all got ballers on there. We know what your cornerbacks are looking like. We know you got ball. I know that. But what Scott y'all had nothing to do with talent, and I'm just simply pointing out. I think you have less of that going into this year.
Well, anytime you lose AJ Brown, who's a top 3, 4, 5 receiver, potentially, right? So if
it's not just AJ Brown.
Anytime you lose an AJ Brown, your team is significantly talent wise worse. Like he's a special player. Like we don't dislike, even with AJ potentially leaving, none of us Eagles fans dislike AJ Brown at all. Not even for a minute. We understand it. So losing him, your team automatically gets worse, whether it's for good or bad, as far as talent. But you brought the good thing up: continuity, chemistry. That shit is important, and that's what hurt. Not only the play calling, but the fact. Dude, I'll put it to you like this: AJ Brown was complaining in the media he wasn't getting the ball, basically, right? The offense, y'all want to use me until y'all want to use me. Y'all use me until you want to use me. Whatever he was saying, making these tweets. When he had 4 straight games of like 100 yards and stuff like that, nobody heard a thing. You know what the Eagles did? They lost like 3 in a row, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say, "Oh man, we got to step it up. We're we blah 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 blah." No, he was getting the ball. He didn't mention the loss.
I wish we had more time because I would talk to you more about.
Yeah, we can talk about that some other time. But what I'm saying,
and what that means to have.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, why I say they'll be a better football team than last year is a few reasons. Offense coordinator, AJ Brown out the building, makes way for a better cohesive offense between both of those things. And 3, I think the defense is young and it is fast. It's young and fast. So those are the reasons. I did not even talk about Hurts. I did not talk about Barkley. I didn't talk about Devontae Smith and none of them individually. Those are the reasons why. Naturally, Jalen Hurts is going to be better under a better offensive coordinator and more cohesive offense where he doesn't have to force anyone the football. There was a time and period during that season where they decided we're going to get A.J. Brown the football. He complained. He got the football. They lost games. They switched that up. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get that anymore. So that's the thing. You lose the talent, but you don't have to force anybody the ball. Devontae Smith's going to get open. He's going to be open. He won't get the ball. He's not going to complain about it. Right. So it's a difference. So that's where I'm at with it. So, you pretty much agree, not with everything I'm saying, but you agree that they're probably going to be first in the division.
I'm telling you right now, the NFC East is going to be decided on what Eagles decide to show up.
What the Eagles show up. Yeah. So basically, they're going to be first.
That is exactly what I'm agreeing.
It's their division to lose. Like, that's basically what it is. For me, it's the Eagles division to lose, and it's the Patriots division to lose from the two divisions that we spoke about. It's both of those teams' divisions to lose. I think the Bills and the Cowboys have something to say about each division. I think they do. And I know you want to say the Giants. I think the Giants are a year away. I think the Giants are a season and an off season away from probably going on a run as far as taking over the division, because Dak and Dallas, they have to make something happen like right now, right? They got to make something happen right now because they can't get the contract right with George Pickens, right?
Right.
Can't get his contract right. So he's going to play this one out, but he's not going through this again.
No.
So
and with no matter of fact, I'm gonna conclude this episode. We're gonna talk about wide receivers. I'm gonna let you know.
Okay. All
right. Conclude this episode. We're gonna talk wide receivers because there's a lot to digest with that.
Yes.
But with that said, because we only got about 2 minutes before we gotta wrap this up.
Okay.
Man, god damn, brother. Like them saying, like this is why you need it here on Cause You Don't Know Football. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Please don't stay away too long. Yo, for all of our fans, catch our full episodes on Spotify and YouTube. Catch the reels on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We doing the damn thing. New season. We about to kill the game this year. You heard me? With that said, Haas, you did all of this, man.
Hey, man.
The Golden State. You came in with your Golden State jersey on.
You know, I'm out here.
You changed the room blue, and I will have to tell you, cause you don't know football.
Nah, I know I don't. I know I don't.
Like Martin said, I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.